welcome to a play shop on embodied leadership with Dr. Marion Gibbon. Marion is excited to start. I'm going to fade into the background, let her talk a little bit about her background, what she's coming to do today, and the subject that is embodied leadership. I mean, just the title alone is exciting to me. So I'm looking forward to this session thoroughly. So Marion, over to you.
Yeah, sure. So I'm not going to give you an awful lot of background, because what I really want to do with you today is to have an opportunity to learn some of the tools of how you can become more embodied in your approach to life. I think this kind of approach is really, really essential for these times that we find ourselves in, that we're actually shifting in a paradigm at the moment from what has been a kind of top-down authoritarian sort of leadership and to one that's much more expansive. And so in order to do that, we need to be able to bring all of ourselves into our workplaces, into our lives, that we need to be able to bring our mind, our body, our heart, and our spirit into all that we do in order for us to be able to bring out the best in all of ourselves. So I'm going to start with a bit of a story, because my life's involved a huge amount of traveling, and I've had the opportunity to learn from many cultures. So I've been incredibly blessed in that way. And the first part of my story is about sharing a red thread. In Japan, those that are destined to meet are all joined by a red thread. And each of us has our own part of the red thread, which is based on what we have to give to the world. So, and then in Nepal, which is somewhere else where I've had the opportunity to live, they also have a red thread too, in that the red thread there is given as a sign of protection to the wearer. And it's also part of the marriage ceremony too, where you give your devotion to each other. So one of the things that I wanted to do as we start today is to share this red thread with you as we are meeting, and we become part of a circle in us joining here together. So I would like to go around the group, and as you introduce yourself, you can also say what brings you to this session. So, and Alyssa, you're not going to be allowed to get out of this because you're next to me in terms of on the screen.
Oh, thank you so much. That's lovely, Marion. In picking up the red thread, I would say that I think that, well, I'm doing tech and I'm really pleased to be able to be here to share this time. One of the things with working in the background is that you have perforce to miss some sessions. And I think that embodied leadership for me, as I have begun to take on leadership instead of having leadership thrust upon me, is that acceptance and really stepping into my power, not in the sense of a hard power way, but into what power and leadership really are. So I'm really pleased to be here with you all today.
Lovely, thank you. And if you could pass it on to the next person to you on the screen.
And next to me, I have Michael, who has a gorgeous picture of the Northern Lights, I think.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Michael, and I'm not a legal profession, but I don't have a legal background, but I am. I always get myself into it because personally and professionally, I have to deal with legal risks and implications. So for me, this session, I think from what I can understand, is about leadership, and as someone who has been taking out leadership roles in a few voluntary and for-profit organizations, we're starting to see that we have we are living in a time where there's not a lot of strong leadership in this world, in leading the world. I mean, leading world politics and leading business sectors. So I am hoping to actually get a sense of understanding and hopefully to network with people who believe that we need strong leadership in this world and to move things forward for the better. So thank you very much.
And Michael, if you could pass the red thread on to the next person to you on the screen.
I think I will pass to, I think, Miss or Mr. Ali, Ashuri Ali, the one with the, is Ali there? All right, if not, then Margaret will be a next one.
I'm here.
Okay, yeah, here. Okay, great.
It's beautiful scene, man. What it is?
Lovely. We can hear you now.
Michael, why this place, man? This is in Finland.
This is just a virtual background.
Oh, well, can you? I love to have this virtual background, you know.
I got a lot of them. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Maybe I change to something more
You can
African.
set us over, yeah? It looks beautiful.
Yeah, maybe I change to this one. This
Oh, look at that. Oh, dear me.
Lovely. All right, Ashari, can you share with something of yourself with us, please?
Oh my God. I just finished my lesson now. So I nothing to except my dummy face, you know. How do I say? Let me see. I have nothing to share, you know, honestly, Marion. So I just finished my class now, right?
All right.
So I just jump in and when I saw the photos, it was just like two screen because I'm on my handphone now, and I have the class on the laptop. But I got distracted with the scene, you know, beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
That's fine. And Alex, would you like to take the thread now, please?
Hi everyone, yes, Alex from Cape Town here, and I wish I had a nice background because I see mine's just black and I was trying to change it to make it interesting, but yes, but I've joined as being involved with dispute resolution for 15 years. I have a passion for it, so looking for what's new, what's coming with COVID, what's different, and of course I'd like to take the thread and keep it here with me and move it on. So yeah, I hope this is going to lead to something better. Thanks.
Oh, thank you, Alex. And Margaret has just shared that she's happy to just listen. So that's also fine. So the next, what I'd like you to do now is to be able to arrive here in this moment is to just do a bit of a meditation, which it will be a guided one that takes you through a visualization. So if you just put your feet on the floor and then breathe just gently and just help yourself come into your body more. And then just as you close your eyes, you'll see this beautiful tree in your vision. And on this tree, there are many beautiful birds. And each of those birds are full of color, and some have long tails, some have short tails, some are small and some are large. And then on that tree, you notice that there are many flowers as well. And these flowers, they're not all the same, which is what you'd expect from one tree. They're varied. They're different colors. They're pink and blue and white and red. In fact, I'm just noticing they're all the colours of the rainbow. And then as you look further, you notice that there are butterflies that are flying in and out of the branches and alighting on the flowers. And this tree is in a beautiful place, and it is, in fact, the tree of life that we find in so many different cultures. And that tree has a message for you and me. Just listen to what that tree is having to say to you. And as we come back now to be with each other, just keep that feeling of being in that with that tree and what it has to tell you. And one of the things I do feel this is important is that each of us has a creative life within us, and that artistry and creativity give us alternative ways of thinking and approaching challenges. And this is a really beautiful quotation that Judy Brown, who's an incredible lady who is in fact works in organizational development. She is a university lecturer, a poet, and an artist, and she works in the field of leadership. And I found this really helpful when I was first exploring about embodiment and what leadership meant to me, and how we can change the version of leadership that we have currently. So the next thing I would like to do with you is to share a way that you can look at getting more information from what you already know within yourself. That this is a process that's called metacognitive drawing. And I hope that you've all got a piece of paper at least and a pencil or a pen with you. And I will share with you a bit about how to do metacognitive drawing. So in terms of the process of metacognitive drawing is just being able to take a pencil or a pen or a colours and if you're using colours, to just take the colour that really is speaking to you and just place it in one hand. And you can also do two-handed drawing as well. So whatever it is you feel is right for yourself. And then I'm going to play a piece of music which is just over 2 minutes. And in that time, you have a chance to do this drawing. And don't think about it, just allow your hands to flow across the paper. And I think you will be very surprised by what happens. So. Imagine that your soul is telling you something, and that you are seeing some knots in a piece of thread, and that they're gradually being released. Let go of those knots and be free. So let's see what arose for people there, and what did have a look at your the drawing that you made and see if there are any words that come to you or things that you might have discovered in that time. You might see something in the drawing that you've undertaken, and it may have something to share with you. So I did a drawing that ended up looking like that. And what I see in my drawing is that there's an arrow, and there's a foot, and there's some faces as well. So what I think my drawing might be saying to me is that through this sharing with each other, that we're being shown a new way. Michael, is there anything that you would like to share from that process that you found?
I'm still thinking what I should be drawing. Yeah, I need some time to collect my thoughts. Yeah, sorry.
That's fine. We can come round to you.
Thank you.
Alyssa, what did you find?
Let's see. I think that my drawing is trying to tell me to still connect to my heart. It's very yeah. Yeah, that's I always love doing these exercises. Thank you so much.
I'm glad that I'm sorry you didn't hear the music. I must have not pressed the right thing.
That's okay. That's okay.
But
This
quietness is
amazing. Yeah.
Quietness is something nice as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Mildred, what did you find for yourself?
Yeah, Mildred is saying she had her drawing was one long spiral.
Oh, lovely. Is that spiral saying and telling you anything? Ah, it looks confusing. I'm sure it will have more to tell you. That's one of the things that happens sometimes, is that these drawings can shed light on something a while after that you do undertake.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can now. That's lovely.
Oh, okay. So my drawing was, like I said, one long spiral. I didn't want to think too much about it, so I just quickly drew, and that's what came out. It's one long spiral around the whole page. But what it's saying to me is that those things are looking, confusing. It's all connected because it's just one line basically. Though it's got spirals, and I see a triangle, I see a circle, but it's just one line. So for me, that's what the drawing is saying to me, that even though there's chaos, there is some order in the chaos.
Oh, Alex is back. Oh, Alex will be back. He's needing to reconnect. So thank you very much for your sharing, Mildred. That was lovely. And Daniel, what did you find from the process?
For me, looks like a tree. So I think it's just to be calm and tranquil. So I think because I've been having so many matters coming before my desk, and it's quite busy, but just I think the drawing is communicating just to become. And I got this.
Oh, that sounds great, because I think giving ourselves the chance to become is really important. And I think there's oftentimes we don't give ourselves that opportunity at all. So I think that's a really timely reminder for me. And I just found a quotation that reminds me of this as well. Becoming is the art of truly knowing yourself and becoming the best version of yourself. And the Prabha, is that, how do you say your name? How would you like to share with us? Are you able to unmute? I'm not sure how you pronounce your name. I might be saying it wrong. I've noticed that you're still not unmuted. So is there anybody else that would like to share anything more from that?
I think I can find, I'm visualizing like a sea, like a water, like a pool, in which I can relax and chill. I think my mind is telling me to relax.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So this weather is pretty good. So I just, oh gosh.
So one of the things that this metacognitive drawing does allow you to do is open up different parts of yourself. And it enables you to look at things with a different lens sometimes. So the next thing that I wanted to get you to think about was, where are you now willing to take a big, daring risk? Imagine there is an area of your life that you haven't been willing to look at with truly open eyes. What is in that area? What does it look like in symbol or metaphor? And how does it make you feel? And what does it make you want to do? I'll put this in the chat for you. So What I am asking for you to do is, if you look at the chat, where are you needing to take a big daring risk? What part of your life is where you have been unwilling to look at with your eyes open? What is that area? What does it look like in symbol or metaphor? And how does it feel? And what does it make you want to do? And now I'm going to try and share. Alyssa, have you got some music that might be helpful for playing for that, rather than me trying to do it, which I obviously...
Let me see what I can do from this end.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see what we have here.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Alyssa. That was perfect.
You're welcome.
So, anybody happy to share the symbol or metaphor that may have arisen for them? Michael, you anything you would?
Not for now.
Not for
Sorry.
now. That's fine. Agavini.
It's a difficult name.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny because I couldn't answer your questions actually. I was like, I need some time to contemplate on those questions, but like suddenly something kicked in and I'm going to get it. Just 2 seconds.
Lovely. Yeah.
It's just a little example because you said like symbol or metaphor and suddenly this image came up. Lately I did a Wim Hof retreat. It's the Iceman on breathing and it was quite intense. I never experienced something like that before, although I do a lot of breathing exercises myself. While going high on my own supply by then, there came an image that I like a lot of times see very often, and a few days after that I found a card with the exact same vision or picture stated, so I will just show it.
Oh wow, oh that is amazing.
And like I totally forgot that image, so because of Wim Hof I reconnected to that image. And I thought, well, this is a message. I need to sit on that and contemplate on that. And it's so connected to like also my core essence. And yeah, more than that. So I don't know if it answers all the questions, but that's what it came up. Like, how does it feel? It feels really good. And what it made me want to do, is really sit on it, right? And to listen to all the qualities that are within me and the things that I can read outside of me, and to do more with that in like my ongoingly in my work and life.
That sounds marvelous. Thank you very much. And Mildred, would you have anything that you want to share?
For me, the image that came to mind was a stage. I need to be center stage, and that is very scary for me because naturally I'm a more of a behind the scenes kind of person. But some of the things that I'm doing and the direction that I know I ought to go and the risks that I need to take will need me to be a bit more at the center of the stage, and that is very worrying and disturbing for me. But I know it's I need to do that to go to the next level and to just grow and face my fears. So yeah, it's a stage and being center stage that came to mind.
Oh, that sounds very exciting. And Daniel, is there anything that you would like to share?
I'm still trying to work on the symbol or the metaphor, but maybe I think two things came to mind. I think is asking for help, and the second is saying no. So I'm a person who likes being very independent, and I rarely ask for help unless it's do or die. So, and then I'm also I also don't know how to say no most of the time. When someone has a problem or has an issue or needs some help, I'm always there. And at times, I think that makes me burnt down. So, just off the top of my head, I think two signs. Or one may have come up. Maybe slow down and stop at times, and just I think those two.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's interesting indeed. And Nadia. Anything for you?
Yes, sorry. Well, sorry I joined a little late because we were on a different session, but very quickly looking at these questions, which I have been noodling on for a bit, so it's not, it's still not easy to vocalize it, but I think the closest I can share with you is a vision I had when I was a teenager, which is still true. Which is me becoming, being a mist. It's like a layer of very light mist flying over the world. And as I go through very quickly, healing and regeneration and everything happens. And that takes me to the first question, which is, what is it that I need to do, be more daring at, to be there? What does that mean for me? Which I haven't achieved yet, which I haven't accomplished yet, but what is it that I'm not doing yet? What kind of courage and vulnerability I should put myself in to make that happen? And I still don't know, but I am sitting on it and letting it, yeah, inviting it and being with it and trying to take a little bit more risks and be more playful, which is something that I'm not good at. So, yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. So I found this really, really fascinating, hearing what each of you have had to say. The final thing that I'm going to get you to think of is, where in your life is ripe for action? So this is the final question. I'll put it in the chat. So what I'm going to ask you to do now is to imagine the areas of your life that are represented by different coloured doors. So if you see ahead of you a whole bank of different coloured doors, red, yellow, orange, purple, green, blue, spots if you like. And then think about what those colours are, and what therefore is the word on each of those doors. So in terms of, is it something about your, is it a word like courage? Is it a word like creativity, clarity, being fearless? Some of the things that each of you have shared this morning. What's on those doors? Then pick 3 of those doors, and what colour are they? And what's the word on each of those doors? And what the amazing thing about this is, the areas that show up will be the ones you choose to open, whether you're ready for that or not. Allow yourself to be surprised by the doors that show up. Now focus and pick one to walk through. You'll notice that there's a light that shines on the door that's ready for you to open. And it's the one that lights up, is the one that you move towards. Then you turn the handle and open the door. And through the other side, is what you need to know right now. Yes. Thank you, Alyssa. That was great. So, who would like to share first? Nadia, lovely.
Yes. Hi. So in the beginning, I just started looking at colors, and so I had black, blue, and yellow. Black kind of brought ambiguity and uncertainty, and I just this black hole, and then that takes us to God knows what is out there, but not with the fear or anxiety. It was just kind of, wow, what kind of galaxies, what's going to be out there. And blue, yellow, of course, it's hope. But I crossed it immediately, and I was like, no, it's not single colored. My door is multicolored, and that's where the light is shining. And the other door, which is related to it, is the twilight. So there is a bit of yellow, orange, and the blue, when that intersection, because there is a new future and there is hope. But the multicolored, for me, the words that came that are really related, is immediate, it's now, has to do with collaboration and action. And so it's collaborative action. And this is where, yeah, and I have to be part of leading that. I see myself central and working with others, not the champion or anything, but activating that kind of way to get to the other crossing down the road. So that's what came up to me. Thank you.
Thank you. So who would like to share next?
Well, I can share something. So I had the first door that is red, that stands for me for fire, and that the action taking going forward. And then the second door was all multicolored too, and the words came to me: embrace all perspectives. And another door, green, yellow, it's okay, and follow the sun. And then I just connected to the picture that I just showed you, and I flipped the card and I saw a text there. Didn't know if I saw it earlier, but now I did. And it's stated on the sacred mountain. I was like, of course. So I noted down solid as rock before I read it already. And then on the sacred mountain, and the mountain is you. And I saw a word like it's copyrighted by a Dutch lady actually. And I believe I have a book from her, and it's called, in English, if I translate it, The Entire Elephant in Build. Yeah, how do you say it? In one image, as we can't, like it's a universal principles. It's about the universal principles. So I was like imagining in my mind what it's meaning. I was just checking the meaning of elephant in different cultures. I was like, oh, maybe I should do something with this. So that's what all came up for me. And in relation to where in my life, or where in your life is ripe for action, for me it's like going online, like the motivational part, helping others thrive in life. That's a big part for me in my business, in organizations, but also like for individuals. But that's what I really need to step forward in that space.
Sounds great. And Daniel, did anything particular come up for you?
Hi, unfortunately not. I lost the connection.
Oh, right.
So maybe I'll just sit. I'll sit out on this one.
Okay, that's absolutely understandable.
Okay, thanks. Okay.
And Mildred, did you find anything interesting for yourself?
Yeah, I I saw a couple of doors. There was a yellow door, a red one, green, purple, white, and blue. And for me, the yellow door was about spotlight, which relates to my image, the metaphor that I from the previous exercise. And yellow is not one of my favorite colors, so for me, this door is very intimidating. Um, Red for me is passion, green is peaceful, purple is happy, white is faith, blue is stability. So I like darker colors. So for me, the yellow door was the spotlight, that very intimidating spotlight, being center stage, just taking that risk and going forward. Um, I don't want to go through that door, but I know I need to go through that door. Yeah, so that's one thing that I will be reflecting upon some more.
Oh, that's really interesting. Yeah. And Michael, is there anything you want to share?
I think there's 3 doors that I visualize. One is a very old wooden door. That reminds me of the time when I was in school. So it's like I feel like I'm back to school again. I think to tell me that there's a lot of things that to confront my past trauma in exams because I have a phobia in examination. That's the first one. Um, the second one would be a door of two of them would be 2 doors that is glass, but one is golden and white. So it's like I like it. It's to remind me of the time that I like to travel and to go outside, but now it's not a good time because there's a lockdown going on. But the last one was a bit more peaceful. It's like a it's like a mix of nature. So there's water, there's very nice clear skies, and there's a lot of rivers and lakes around. So it's remind me of a time where I enjoy, going hiking and being one in nature. So that's about it for me.
Thank you. That's really lovely. And now I'm going to come to Elissa as well.
Yes, the perpetual unmuting. I was doing tech, so I didn't visualize doors, but I will do that exercise afterward, Marion. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and great. I'm sure you'll find some real nuggets in it.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to share one of the other things that I find really helpful is actually because of the loving words so much. I love to make poetry, and poetry also can help you find all sorts of bits of information because it'll open up parts of your brain that aren't usually being utilized on a daily basis. And I first found how poetry is really incredible in terms of helping you with leadership as well. Andrew Macron, who is an amazing leadership individual who knows a lot about leadership and also does coaching and organizational development. And I first came across some of his writing on coaching, and then I found a book that he'd put together, which was the most amazing photography with his poems. And this photography is not like ordinary photography. It's kind of nighttime photography using red light. And so as he takes photographs, they show up different things than you normally expect. And this whole thing about seeing things through different lenses is something I find really encouraging and very helpful at times. So I wrote this piece, this poem, as I was writing my book on embodied leadership, which I really hope will have the chance to come into the world very soon. It's in that process at the moment of being edited, and so this poem is it's embodied leadership. Being is the art of allowing. How do we become more caring? Is it through being creative, allowing ourselves to become more centered, showing our courageous selves, and through our curious nature? Aligning of our inner and outer selves enables us to have more clarity. Our compendium of knowledge and sagacity is underlined by our character and seeing how others trust. Our compassion is heartfelt and real. We are in the place of becoming our true selves, making a commitment to our path, standing fearless to communicate how we are all connected. Each one of us will find our community to enable a fearless belonging. So in terms of what I was wondering, Alyssa, so that everybody has a chance to share with somebody else, if you were to pair us up, so that for those who are a little shyer of others, they might be more happy to speak to a partner, and then we can all come back together for our final sharing.
Okay, let me make those rooms now, and we will go.
So, and then if everybody, so if you give each of us, if we have 10 minutes, so that each of us have 5 minutes to share with somebody.
Okay.
So thank you. I really want to say thank you to everybody for being part of this time together. It's been very nourishing for me, and I also want to thank you for kind of spending the time to look at an alternative way of leading, and how that there's some tools that we can utilize that will enable us to become to get in touch with some of those bits of us that we often forget about. Some of the shadow bits that have things to tell us as well. So I hope that each of you have found something that you've kind of found useful from this. And perhaps we can just go around the room and just see if there's any one takeaway that you have from our time together, and then I'll give you time to make your way to your next sessions. So please do kind of say what you'd like.
Can I go first?
Yes, certainly.
I just want to say thank you so much for this session. It was very interesting to just get into my mind. I have found like 2 or 3 things that I need to think about, that I need to work on. And also thank you so much for that poem. The line "Fearless Belonging" is so powerful. And before we finish, if you could just say for a few seconds what you mean by fearless belonging, I'd love to know what.
Okay.
On that.
Yes, I will. Yeah, I sure will say that. Agavni, do you have?
Yeah, I just want to say keep up the good work, Marion. I think we are, I believe everything is interconnected, and we need this so much currently, also in this digital space. So thank you for your beautiful questions that I will sit on more for sure. And I hope that everyone can connect to their own creativity, courage, and compassionate parts within themselves to embody the leader they already are. So that's my takeaway on this.
Lovely, thank you. And Michael, is there anything you'd like to share with us? You're on mute.
Sorry. Hello, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
First of all,
perfect.
thank you very much for this session. It's wonderful, and it brings a lot of I think it helped tap into the unconscious mind to find out what are our insecurities and our dreams. But I hope we can continue to have more of this so that we can do more check and balance on our mental health, and also to help us grow as a person, as a community. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. That's really lovely. I'm not sure that Daniel is.
Hello.
Hi there, Daniel.
Yeah, for me, it's just to thank you. It was a very reflective session. Yeah, so keep up the good work, and thanks again.
Thank you. Alyssa, is there anything you'd like to share with?
Yes, I went into a breakout room with Mildred, and it was interesting. I wrote the same line that she asked about, each one of us will find a community to enable our fearless belonging, and that, I think, that is what it is, So thank you so much.
So just let me share a little bit about what I think of as fearless belonging, as you've asked. This painting behind me here is that was fearless belonging for me. And it stems back from a time when I was in Sri Lanka, and I had the most amazing experience whilst I was out walking and met a peacock who danced for me. And when I looked up what a peacock means, it's to do with compassion and sacred space. And I've always felt a little bit strange. My family think of me as this a bit odd, because I'm the most highly educated member of my family. I've ended up with a doctorate and other degrees as well. And I think they think I'm a bit mad. But anyway, I feel I've found a place where I belong. And that's what I feel everybody needs to do, is that we can find our place of belonging where we are then fearless, that we can become our true self, our best possible version of ourselves. And that's one of the things that I found with Margaret and the GCR Global Challenges Retreat community and New Solve as well. So that's what fearless belonging means to me.